Welcome back. We're up and running again, so let's go do what I think a lot of people have been waiting for. The Cinnabar Island, and if you're so inclined, Seafoam Island's duplication trick. To do this, we're gonna need a Pokemon that knows Surf. Now, normally the only way we can get Surf is by getting to the end of the Safari Zone. That requires effort on my part. That will not do. To remedy this situation, I searched out a GameShark code that lets you own an item that may make some of you guys raise your eyebrows and say, "Huh, neat." Don't be confused by the question marks for its name. This is really an item that functions as a surfing Pokemon. Henceforth, it shall be referred to as the surfboard. Only recently has Pokemon begun to distance itself from the HM concept, but apparently this idea was being tossed around since the first game. The item duplication glitch requires that you actually own the item you want duplicated. We're gonna do it for a rare candy like any other young child would, because seriously, I'm sick of having Mew carry all the way. If you're in lack of rare candy, there's one near the entrance of Mount Moon. Of course, you have to go inside there. God, I fucking hate this place. Move the item you want duplicated to your 6th item slot. As stated before, the glitch can be done in Cinnabar and Seafoam Islands. However, doing it through the islands is really troublesome because you can't fly there, so you have to surf there and suffer a constant barrage of Tentacool and swimmers. You're better off just surfing south of Pallet to Cinnabar. Simply appearing there is good enough to have it added to your list of flight destinations. Quick note, you don't really need to fly. In my experience, when I did it with Seafoam Islands and ran into wild Pokemon on the way, I was still able to encounter the glitch Pokemon that made the glitch work. However, fly just makes things so much easier and faster. Why wouldn't you have fly at this point in the game anyway? Now, fly to Viridian and talk to the old guy that blocked your way for coffee way back at the beginning of the game. Say no to his question and you'll get a demonstration on how to catch a Weedle. Because as we all know, Weedle are so fucking hard to catch. Actually, they're pretty rare in blue, but that's not the point. Like Glitch City, this all sounds really weird and stupid complicated, but bear with me here. When the old man is done with his demonstration, fly back to Cinnabar. Now just surf along the coast of Cinnabar. Try not to get off the coast because you may have a chance to stop the glitch from working. I mean, I'm probably wrong, but you don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Eventually, you'll start to run into Pokemon that have no business being on the coast of Cinnabar. One in particular is this one. Depending on your name, you will most likely encounter some wild Pokemon that you can't normally catch in the wild with an abysmally high level. In this case, I get Haunters at a level of motherfucking 132. These levels are the real deal too. The stats will go up with the level, so this thing can really wreck my shit if I'm not careful. Good thing I have Master Balls. Here's a look at the stats of the Haunter you just saw. As you can see, its special stat is probably the highest seen in this LP so far. It's completely safe to catch the overleveled Pokemon. You can use them to your heart's desire in-game, and they can be a fun, nasty surprise for any kid friends if you ever time travel back to the 90s. However, using them in-game, any experience you get will revert them back to level 100, which is kinda lame, but hey, level 100 Haunter. Now, this Haunter won't make the item duplication glitch occur. This is just the appetizer. However, these guys do. I humbly present Missing No, or in this case, its sibling M. They're pretty much similar except for some key differences. I'll give you a hint. M is really stupid to use in battle. These guys are like the cornerstones of Pokemon glitches, maybe even glitches themselves. Their existence piqued the interest of nerds everywhere, leading to the rumor storm of Pokegods, glitch items, and long-abandoned cities of yore. They are the original glitch, and are the most well-known. I'm going to catch them both. Catching M right off the bat makes everything occur as normal. Until it doesn't. Even after capturing M, it still fights. Unlike Missing No, M has the unique property in that to own it, you have to catch it in its sprite form twice. Why the sprite form and not the one we're fighting now? Turns into a Ditto. Sometimes M's first capture will result in the capture of a Rhydon instead. In my case though, the first catch was the genuine article, so I'm not really sure what triggers the change. In any case, I'm going to free up my party of this Ditto and deposit it into the PC. Don't worry about leaving the coast, by the way. As long as you don't occupy a wild Pokemon area and stay in Cinnabar, there should be no chance of the glitch ceasing to work. Most importantly, I actually fucked up which item I wanted to be in the 6th slot, so we have a couple of examples of this. Regardless, encountering M has given us a bucket load of our 6th item, 255 copies exact. Not infinite. I don't know where people got that idea. You will run out of rare candies eventually, so you have to redo the glitch if you want more. So why do the items duplicate? In Gen 1, each Pokemon has a so-called Pokédex bite. This tells the game whether the Pokemon has been seen or captured. 0 equals neither seen nor caught, 128 equals seen, and 255 equals caught. The Pokédex byte of Missing No and M is programmed in the same area as the byte that stores how many of the 6th item you have in your bag at the moment. So, when you encounter Missing No or M, a byte of 128 is input not only to the Pokédex, but to your item numbers as well, and a byte of 255 is added if you actually catch the glitches. I may as well explain that the glitch boxes that appear before the regular number are the game's attempt to display a number over 99, which obviously it wasn't programmed to do. The glitch box / title will change as you move from location to location, and sometimes it'll even animate like this cute little flower. Thanks to this oversight, we can now do something that I've personally been waiting to do for a while now, power leveling the fuck out of the Pokegods. I know I could have leveled them up anytime I wanted with the Shark Rare candies, but come on, that's no fun. In this update, I actually really bothered to level up 0.4 all the way up to 100. I'll post the moveset I got for it soon, but before I do, I believe it's worth noting that having 0.4 learn the move that destroyed the game so badly back when I first got him seems to be fine outside of battle. Delete Super Glitch, and everything will be okay again, and 0.4 will actually be pretty safe. Another cool thing about 0.4, it learns HM moves naturally. I'm pretty sure other glitch Pokemon do too, but 0.4 learns the most out of all the rest. I stuck Surf on it because Surf is pretty much the best move ever for any Pokemon that can learn it, I think. Be warned that when power leveling 0.4 and pretty much any other Pokegod, not glitch, that's Missing No 1M, that it will try to relearn the Super Glitch move at least once. Unless you want to put the game at risk / see more crazy shit, I would advise against doing so. In the end, we got a bitching level 100 Pokemon with some bitching defense and 3 glitch moves. Here's a brief overview on them. TMO5 is probably the best buffing move in the game since it raises your evasion by 3 stages. If you thought Double Team was bad, you haven't seen anything yet. Of course, I'm sure trainers will find a way to still hit this thing after using this move. They cheat after all. TMO9 is just a worse explosion. Of course, it's got incredible power, the highest possible, but with abysmal accuracy, you're better off not bothering with this one. TM28 has pretty good power and incredibly high PP, but like most glitch moves, its accuracy leaves a lot to be desired. Off the top of my head though, its secondary effect is unique, so that's kinda cool, I suppose. Feel free to dunk on me in the comments if I'm wrong about that though, and I'll rescind my kinda cool. Hopefully I don't have to explain Surf to you guys. If I get annoyed enough with the bad accuracy of 0.4's attacks, I'll just stick with Surf. With how much PP some of these moves have though, and with 0.4's super high defense, I don't think I should have much to worry about, unless it goes to sleep. Which happened a lot when I tried using some of the moves. They work, but damn 0.4 falls asleep a lot. Finally, with one of our Pokegods power leveled, we can go and check out M. M is encountered using the Cinnabar Island duplication trick, with specific characters applied to your character's name. It can be caught twice, but the M caught the second time will turn into a level 0 or 80 Ditto. When M gains a level, it will evolve into Kangaskhan. The moves it knew before will carry over, so you'll have a Kangaskhan that knows Sky Attack and Fly. Storing M into the PC will cause the game to freeze when you try to withdraw any other stored Pokemon, but for some reason this can be bypassed when playing the game through the Stadium emulators. M will appear as a Rhydon statue in Stadium and will not be able to fight in any battles. In Stadium 2, it will appear as a Ditto knowing only Transform. M causes much more damage to Hall of Fame records than Missing No. Encountering one will make your game save automatically, and catching one will give the most interesting Hall of Fame glitches. So in case you didn't listen to that, leveling up M causes something very annoying to happen. At least it's annoying in my opinion. Yep, when M levels up, it evolves into Kangaskhan, losing its glitchy name in the process. As you can see, Kangaskhan retains the moves it learns, so if you want to freak some old players out, go ahead. A shame there was no trade connection between Gen 2 and 3, but it's kinda understandable as to why. Regardless, I'm stuffing this guy in the box. He's boring. And we're about to get something that's just like him without being boring. I am, of course, talking about Missing No. Now you may ask, I only encounter Haunter and M along the coast, how can I encounter Missing No? Simple, with a name-changing cheat. Yet, what does my player name have to do with the glitch at all? Here is where I explain why the Missing No / item duplication glitch happens. When making the maps for areas where Pokemon would appear, Game Freak had a bit of a slip-up, unsurprisingly. The strips of water east of Cinnabar and Seafoam were programmed to have Pokemon appear in them. The issue is Game Freak forgot to define exactly what Pokemon would appear. Normally this isn't a huge issue, only that the previous setting for what Pokemon appear still remain if you surf there. For example, say you were on Route 2 with Pidgeys and Rattatas. If you went to Cinnabar and surfed along the coast, you would encounter those same Pokemon, not at godly levels though. This brings me to my next point. When you talk to the old man to catch Weedle, Game Freak changes the variables that are assigned to your name to Old Man. This way, the game can show the player things like Old Man through the Pokeball. To do that, the game overwrites the variable you input to your name while the old man is on screen. The game needs to store the variables to make up your name in another place to be used again later. What programmers did was stick the variables of your name with the slots of what Pokemon you can run into and what level. Then, when the player enters a defined area where the player can encounter Pokemon, all the variables are put back into their respective areas. However, as a result of the overlook at the Cinnabar and Seafoam coasts, the game doesn't put everything back into place, and as a result, you fight Pokemon based on the variables used to define the player name. Now, how are levels and Pokemon determined? For levels, the 2nd, 4th, and 6th letters of the player's name determine the levels of the Pokemon you can run into. It's simple. Take the numerical equivalent of the letters A equals 1, D equals 4, etc., and add 127 for uppercase letters or 159 for lowercase letters. Symbols can also be used into play here. So if you have symbols in your name in specific positions, you can encounter some pretty powerful Pokemon. Now, if you want to catch a specific Pokemon, this is where letters 3, 5, and 7 come into play. Having any of the letters, no, uppercase and lowercase produce different results. Listed below in these spaces will make those Pokemon appear on the coast. Ironically, you can't catch me with this glitch because its hex is too low. Here's a list of the Pokemon you can catch with their respective letters. Notice how there are no special characters listed. Those produce different results. We'll save them for later. Now with that in mind, we can change our name via GameShark, how convenient, and encounter other Pokemon, like Missing No. Everyone say goodbye to Met for now, and say hello to Joshies. The S is in the 3rd and 7th slot and is one of the many variables that can make Missing No appear. For reference, here you go. As you can see, we are now encountering different Pokemon. As a quick note, when changing your name, you have to talk to the old man again so the game can store the new variables. I also don't catch them up because, well, I wouldn't use them. Finally, here it is, the real deal, Missing No, abbreviated for the phrase missing number. He was the first glitch Pokemon discovered and was made popular by word of mouth. So popular in fact, that people thought M and Missing No were the same thing. I wouldn't really blame them for thinking that though, since they look so similar, it's just that they both do different things. Luckily it's not M, so catching it is as easy as any other Pokemon. Now, before I go any farther, let me iterate this as clearly as I can. Missing No is safe. It will not erase your game. As a matter of fact, it is one of the most beneficial glitches in the game. If anyone told you that Missing No crashed your game, do not believe them. Either they're bullshitting you, or they're thinking of a Pokegod or something. Also, I may as well say that Missing No does not turn into Yoshi. I've heard some bullshit rumors about this, and for some reason they got reasonably popular back in the day. Missing No is not some sort of pre-evolution of Yoshi, that's just stupid. You're stupid for thinking that. What I can confirm about Missing No is that it does not evolve while leveling up, and it can level up past 100 if you catch it at such a level. It can go all the way up to level 255 through the use of rare candies. After that, goes back down to level 0, with 5 across all the stats. No matter how many times you level it up, Missing No will not learn a move. Like M, it will be stuck with Sky Attack and 2 Water Guns unless a TM is given to learn otherwise. Before we move off this Missing No stuff, let me just get this glitch dex out of the way. I can't really say much about Missing No since it's pretty much a safer M. What I can say is that it's a placeholder Pokemon, filling up unused slots in the hex list. And this time they're actually placeholder Pokemon, unlike when I accidentally attributed Pokegods to being placeholders. Obviously you can't catch Missing No through normal means, so Game Freak thought it would be safe to just leave it there. It's theorized that Missing No is a replacement for Pokemon that weren't able to make it in the game. With all that done, I should probably tell you there's another use for the Cinnabar Coast. We're gonna take a visit back to Fuchsia and find out what that is. Of course, the Safari Zone is involved. In fact, we're gonna do the Glitch City trick again, where we encounter probably the best known Glitch City. We'll also have a little reward on the side. To pass the step time while waiting to be ding-donged, just surf along the coast. Remember how I said the coast had no defined Pokemon area programmed into it? Well, this gives us a very helpful result. Thanks to Game Freak's mistake, you can encounter and battle Safari Zone Pokemon along the coast. You don't have to do the Glitch City trick to make them appear, so you can surf all you want until a Kangaskhan or a Chansey pops up for your Master Balling needs. As a side note, I tried doing the whole tapping lightly to make Pokemon appear thing, but I just couldn't do it, at least not on an emulator. Once the PA kicks us out, we're sent to a new part of Glitch City. Also the most well known, because you can go to it the same way you encounter Missing No and M. Just to clarify here, there are no connections between Missing No and Glitch City. Despite the popularity, Glitch City here is kinda lame. If you don't have a Game Shark to use the Walk Through Walls code, you'll get stuck a lot. However, if you do have Walk Through Walls on, you can do the usual with walking along broken rooftops. Alas, just like in Cycling Road, the water will eventually flood the area. Only this time you will be able to surf, without freezing the game to boot. Sometimes you can even find Pokemon among the waters. Some very interesting Pokemon.